Hi, I'm Sasha, this is Eleanor, and this is Elle, and together we're going to take you through a 7-week series on yoga and the art of aging. Today is class 1 and we're going to be focusing on strengthening the core and spine stability. So let's begin by lying in Shavasana, so unfolding our legs and rolling down onto our back. If you've got neck problems, Ellen is going to demonstrate with a folded blanket underneath your head. And if you don't have neck problems, Elle's going to demonstrate just lying on our back in Shavasana. So closing our eyes and have the arms a little bit away from the body and the palms facing up towards the ceiling. Quietening our mind and focusing in on our breath. So letting ourselves be here now, in this present moment. Long, smooth and even breaths. So on the inhalation, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And on the inhalation, we need to fill the abdomen first, and then the breath needs to move into the middle of the rib cage and then into the upper rib cage. And on the exhalation, we do the reverse, so the upper rib cage. The middle rib cage then softens and then the abdomen softens. So keep focusing on allowing that to happen. In through the nose, out through the nose. Long, smooth and even breaths. So we do this at the beginning of class to focus our mind, bring our attention to our breath and just to relax our body. We will be taking the breath work throughout our whole entire class, and it's really important to breathe throughout the class so that tension does not build up in the body. And when we're ready, let's take a nice deep inhalation and inhaling the right arm above our heads, rolling over to our right side and quietly come up to standing into Tadasana. So Tadasana, mountain pose, standing tall and strong like a mountain. So the feet need to be spread and broad and open. If you have ankle problems, knee problems, lower back problems, hip problems, are menstruating or pregnant, you need to stand like Eleanor and have your feet hip width apart. If not, stand with your feet together like myself or Elle. So draw the energy up through the legs. Have the spine stacking, the bones in the spine stacking one on top of the other. Keeping the shoulders nice and soft and relaxed. And the sides of the neck long, crown of the head up towards the sky. And again, long, smooth and even breaths. So we're going to begin by warming up the body, increasing blood circulation and flow. Inhale the arms up above the head. And exhale, Utkatasana. And all the way down, inhale, Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Sit bones to the sky, crown of the head to the floor. Now stepping the right leg back or jumping the feet back to plank. And make sure the shoulders are over the wrists. So Eleanor here is demonstrating the half plank. So a full plank like Elle is doing. Elle jumped back. He's doing the more advanced versions in this series. So if you want to challenge yourself, follow Elle. If you're finding it too challenging, then you follow Eleanor. So Eleanor's down on her knees, but she's still got the body coming forward and the shoulders are still in line with the wrists, and the core is still engaged. So you'll begin to start feeling, after holding this for a little bit, some heat building up in the core muscles. And then we're going to move back. Exhale, we're going to move back to Adho Mukha Virasana. So the buttocks moves back towards the heels, keeping the arms nice and straight and the palms still spread, just like you did in downward facing dog. And now we're going to inhale up to upward facing dog. Excellent. And then we're going to lift from our core back to downward facing dog. And we're going to take long, smooth and even breaths here, about 5 in total. And in downward dog, the feet are always hip width apart, never together, and the hands are always shoulder width apart. Breath is long, smooth and even. And the hands are spread. The shoulders move up towards the pelvis. The sit bones, they're the bones that you sit on that you can feel that are a bit bony when you're sitting down on a hard floor. They lift up towards the sky. And the legs are nice and straight. And then when we're ready, we're going to either step back with our right leg in between our hands, or Al's going to show us jumping back. And Uttanasana. And then we're going to come into Utkatasana. And reaching up towards the sky. And hands, bring the hands to prayer position. Inhaling and exhaling. And again, inhale the arms up. And exhale, Utkatasana. So drawing the sideways in towards the spine and skin on either side of the navel in towards the navel. Uttanasana. And stepping or jumping back to plank. Make sure again your shoulders are over your wrists, and make sure that your bottom's not sticking up in the air, that the bottom is down and the tailbone's long towards the heels. Long, smooth and even breaths. And bending the knees, coming back to Adho Mukha Virasana. Arms straight, inhale, leg through, draw the chest nice and through, arms nice and straight. Use your core muscles here and lift back to downward facing dog. Long, smooth and even breaths, making sure that the shoulders move towards the pelvis. So not up round by the ears like this. This is a common mistake for beginners in downward facing dog. We want to keep the shoulders nice and broad. The hands broad, the shoulders broad, and the feet nice and broad. Good. And stepping the left leg forward or jumping the feet in. Uttanasana. And Utkatasana, powerful pose. And then reaching up towards the sky. And hands down to prayer. And 2 more times through. And inhaling the arms up above the head. And exhale all the way. Utkatasana. And Uttanasana. And stepping the right foot back or jumping both feet back to plank. That's good. So that you can see on Al that the tailbone here is nice and long, that the legs are nicely extended and the heels are away. Just make sure that the outer ankles don't roll out. This can happen as well. So we want to keep the body in a nice straight line. Straight line so the energy's flowing nice and freely. You can see that the neck is nice and free and the crown of the head's moving forward to the front of the mat here. That's looking great, Al. And let's move to Adho Mukha Virasana. That's it. And Eleanor, if you just take your knees a little bit wider, so you can, if you're finding that challenging, just take the knees wider and the toes together. This is a little bit easier and creates a little bit more space for the body. And upward facing dog. So make sure you're using the core muscles in your upward facing dog so you're not squeezing into your lower back. And downward facing dog.